everybody, it's Louise with Louise McKay Art, and I'm back to do another tray. I'm going to do this one differently than last time, because I didn't like the effect I got last time. Let me show you. So this is pretty dry, and I'll be resining it. You know, kind of looks like a dragonfly, or something with wings, I don't know what, but I'm going to do something different on this one. And I'm still using the bloom paints, and I'm going to use my American Floetrol. But I'm going to lay down a design, maybe like an S shape, lay down the colors and the cell activator, and then I'm going to blow it out, kind of like a Dutch pour, but these are thicker paints than a Dutch pour. And we'll see what we get. I'm debating whether or not I want to stretch the pillow out to start with, so that I can hopefully glide the colors over the pillow and get it to the ends. Because on this one here, I didn't quite get to the edges, and that bothers me a little bit. But let's see, we'll see what happens. So my hands are clean. I have to have clean hands because I'm not going to be sanding this thing down. Okay, you know what? I need to just go for it. Just need to be very careful. Not sure how much to lay down. So just a brief blurb here for the newer viewers. I try to not only show what I'm doing, but explain what I'm doing in my thought process, so you understand not just the showing of it, but the why I'm doing it. Just letting you know. Okay, we'll stop with that for right now. I'm going to stretch it out a little bit. And once again, I have the tape taped in such a way that I have some breathing room at the bottom. Okay, a little more over here. I'm getting air bubbles. Maybe from the wood. I probably should be priming this. It's already stretched to the edge. I might have put down too much already, but okay, let's just start. I won't know until I try, right? So everyone, I'm going to pick up the pace here as I'm laying down the colors and also during the blowout, because you can see what I'm doing, and I'll talk over anything that's pertinent. The only thing that I mention here, which really isn't pertinent, but is that while my heart is not beating out of my chest this time, like the last, it is still beating pretty fast, and I have a theory that if your heart is beating really fast and you're nervous about what you're doing, it kind of lends yourself to have more focus in what you're doing. At least for me, it kind of hones me in on exactly all the steps and laser focus. Now, if you get the nerves and the jitters and it stops you from doing something, then you got to say to yourself, you know what, self, what's the worst that's going to happen here? And then move on, because you got to keep trying. Because really, this art form being a fluid art form, there's no way to repeat anything, and you just have to go for it, because what's, like I say, the worst that's going to happen? So you burn a little bit of paint up, you can always recycle it, and you maybe waste a canvas, but you can redo it too. So really, what is the loss? There isn't any. It's only constantly learning, figuring out what works for you, and trying new things. And that's the excitement, because once you try new things, then you're surprised by the results, and like, it's just constant amazement for me in this whole art form. So just another point here, seeing how this is only my second tray. In both trays, my biggest concern is getting enough paint to get to the edges so that the paint can flow to it, but not having so much paint that I end up not able to dry. So as I get ready to lay down the cell activator, I'm just noticing a few air bubbles, so I'm popping those before they turn into white spots. And yeah, if you have any problems with white spots, it's air bubbles. So you want to get them early. So now I'm laying down the white cell activator, and I'm going to follow it up with a black cell activator. And now remember, this is the American Floetrol recipe. So as I start to blow this out, I'm thinking, oh, so far so good. These thicker paints are working fine until right here, where I'm just fighting to try to get this composition to move. The paint just didn't want to go. And then I'm left with a dead spot in there that haunts me a good portion of the rest of this creation, because I have to figure out what I'm going to do to make this more balanced, because the way it is in the end, when I blow here, that open spot is just kind of missing something. It doesn't look balanced to the rest of the composition. So you'll see I try to fight it and work with it. I'm going to stay with the double time because the heater just came on this portion and it's really drowning out my own voice. So I'm going to voice over this. But basically, before I start to do any tilting or anything, I am adding more paint to the corners because I want it to spread on the white paint and hopefully roll over the white paint as I'm going. So yeah, I'm just showing you, I'm just trying to spread it out, and now I'm going to go into tilting. So in my limited experience doing fluid art at all, I've come upon what I'm calling the 3 C's. Now, if somebody's already dubbed this acronym, I apologize, but consistency, color, and composition, in my opinion, are the most important factors to me, because consistency, the paint has to flow at the same rate with each other, otherwise you're going to have a big mess. Color, because you got to have good colors that work together. And composition, you have to have a design that is appealing to the eye. And just of note here, as I was trying to get into the corners, I didn't want to have it leave a splash, like a higher water level than the rest of it. So I end up using a palette knife to kind of push it into the corners. So now that I've got the white pushed to the corners, then I'm going to start blowing out the composition to try to get this the way I want it to look in the end. Again, as with the last one, my mission at this point is to try to get the composition as close to the edges as possible. So I do a lot of fiddling through here, so I don't blame you if you want to skip ahead, but I do want to show you the extent that I went to get things to spread out, get to the corners. Let you know, while this is only under 14 minutes, this was over 45 minutes before I started. So I really do try hard to cull things down to the essence. Well, this is where we are. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the bell and subscribe. Thanks a lot. Take care.